This is One Killer Question.
where we ask the one question you need answered after every episode of Only Murders in the Building.
Because we don't have time for two. We're that busy.
Hey, welcome to One Killer Question. I'm Allie Stroker. There's a lot going on right now.
Well, shh.
But maybe we wait for next week before jumping to conclusions. For right now, let's take a second and appreciate just how much our trio has been through this season. Haley Law and Waja Lee. Will Oliver, Charles, and Mabel be okay?
I don't know. There's so much to unpack. I can't believe there's only one episode after this because there's so much to unpack.
Is anyone ever okay? And I'm not trying to be facetious about that, right? But like, I hope they don't give the characters a very clean epiphany, because life doesn't work that way. And I feel like that's why so many people like the show, is that these are messy characters. They're trying their best.
What is okay? What is like a happy ending for the three of them? I think them coming together and being honest about their issues, much like us three could, is a happy ending. I don't know.
I feel like they'll be okay. They'll be okay-ish.
I don't know.
Let's talk about Mabel.
First of all, she's got a really shady as hell detective allegedly trying to frame her, right? So that's number one of her 35 problems. Then the trauma of these three deaths, the fact that the world calls her Bloody Mabel, right?
I think even though it looks like a mess right now, Mabel is on the most clear path to mental stability. And I think wrapping things up with Alice will allow her to kind of, I don't know, have the right person come in and trust and have a beautiful something. I don't think it's the end of, I know she's got trust issues. I mean, don't we all a little bit, but.
There was no bitterness, there was no anger, there was no fear, right? I felt like she came in her own in the way she just handled
She held it down.
And yeah, she held it down. She threw down, held it down with honor and grace. And she's like, nah, I'm cool. And I don't need this right now, but thank you. And there was a sense of...
growth. There was a growth moment for Mabel there.
So Oliver is a creative, emotional man, but he's got all this past. Is he gonna be okay?
That's the one character. I'm a dad, so that's the one that hit me the hardest, because I'm like, well, what happens if this... What happens, God forbid, if I'm in this situation? Like, how would I live for the rest of my life with this lie? And the fact that Oliver nurtures and protects the lie to protect his son is the most dad move he's done in his character, but it comes at such a cost.
It's hard because the lie comes from a very deep, loving place. And I think the person who's gonna be hurt the most by keeping that from his son is Oliver.
I'm really curious if the lie sustains in the next episode.
I know. Is it the best option?
There you go. There you go.
I'm not sure, but I think his intentions are so pure and sweet that whether he decides to tell it, if I were his son, I would just, I don't know. For a moment, it's a big news, of course, but then it's like, who cares? It doesn't matter what the test says. It's that he is his incredible dad.
Okay, we know Oliver's obsessed with the Demas's dips.
Yeah.
Will he
That's the real problem, is what about the dips?
What about the dips? Will he ever love them again?
He's got to do Putnam pudding or something.
No, man. Listen, it takes a lot to go away from a good dip.
Dare I say he dipped into his marriage.
Ooh.
Ooh,
Double dip.
That is why I think the dip needs to go.
We have to talk about Charles.
Yes.
He is so conflict averse that he has created so many lies and issues and dark parts of his life. Is he gonna be okay?
His is tough because I feel like there's a lot that he can't go back and resolve. I don't know. And I want a happy ending for our three faves, but that one, I don't know. I don't know what he's gonna do.
I always like to keep hope alive, you know, that someone can figure it out. And I feel like the closure or the attempt at closure with his father and the tears that he sheds, closes a significant chapter, which probably impacted his failure in relationships.
I
right?
kind of liked his freaky relationship with Jan in the jail.
You liked it?
I liked it too.
I got it. I
liked it too.
understood.
Does he need to forgive his father?
Yes and no. I feel like forcing him to forgive his father might not be genuine. He needs to, I think, accepting the situation and forgiveness are sisters but not twins. You know? I think he can learn to understand why his father did what he did without forgiving him.
I think he has to forgive himself.
So, yeah.
And I think he needs to understand why his father did what he did, not necessarily accept it, and forgive himself and realize that people make choices sometimes, bad choices with good intentions, to protect.
I think that Charles has such a huge heart. And I think that his actions, especially with Oliver and Mabel, have been so genuine and pure. And I really love Charles. But it sort of seems like no matter what, he's gonna end up alone.
It sounds not cheesy, but you really do have to learn to love yourself alone, to be in something long and healthy with someone else, and I hope he gets that. I see it in his future. Charles, I am available for you. He's amazing.
Is finding the killer the most important thing to our trio now versus their personal lives?
That's tough. I think they maybe think finding the killer is, but luckily we get to see it from the outside. And as we talk about them as individuals, I almost completely forget that somebody was murdered.
Which is the strength of the show.
So much is going on.
Well, for this particular puzzle, it is the final piece of the puzzle because they have to exonerate themselves, number one, right? So I think this type of self-growth is better outside of prison rather than inside prison.
That's true also.
But I think to speak to the bigger point, I feel like this is a process.
Thank you both so much for joining me. And thank you for watching One Killer Question. It's going to be okay.
Or is it?